Warning.
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 Warning. You are entering into the unplugged mind of Paul Clough. Too late. Personal Development Unplugged.
You know what? I've got all these things I want to do. I've got so many goals. So many things I just want to do. I want to achieve. I want to experience. And as I think of them all, every one of them, because they're all in my head, I get completely overwhelmed. Have you ever experienced that? I mean, I got the pictures in my mind. I can see each one, all the different goals, and they're not necessarily all big, but they're all separate little things I want to do. Some big, some small, some medium. I can talk about them in my head. Talk to me how much I want it. Things that will maybe help me do, but how much I get that feeling, that feeling in my chest, sometimes in my tummy, the excitement. And then I can even sometimes smell and taste the success of each one of those individually, but put them all together. Do you know what? Do you know what happens when I put them all together? And they're all together in my head, in my mind. Most of the time I do none of it. And I just, sometimes I just feel, oh, fuck it. Why bother? Have you ever had that experience? Yeah. It's something that I experience quite regularly because I have so many things in mind that I want to do. And that's good, isn't it? Good to have all these things. But I'm not doing them. Completely overwhelmed by it. And because of that, I just get that horrible feeling. And especially, I get a feeling of regret because I'm not doing any one of them. Or here's the other thing, what happens. Maybe you've done this as well. I pick one of them and I sort of go for it because I still got those others in my head. I've got those other dreams, my other goals, the other things I want to do, the things I'm not doing. But I'm trying to do this other one, trying to get it underway, but it just doesn't feel right. Basically what happens is I either start and I don't finish or don't get the motivation because I'm still feeling bloody regret for not doing the others. And in the end, I either give up or do that one badly. And when I do it badly or not as good as I want it, put it that way, the results aren't what I really wanted. Guess what? I feel sad and regretful again. And I start to doubt myself. Are you that good, Cloughie? I thought you were better than this. You should be able to do this, shouldn't you? I shoulda. I coulda. What happened? Oh, all those others are doing it, aren't they? Maybe you're not as good as them. And I get all these limiting beliefs and I get the regret and I get the overwhelm comes on again. And then, I sometimes don't want to do anything at all like that. And do you know what? That's all BS. Because it doesn't have to happen that way. Because you can achieve anything. I know the title says you can't achieve anything, but you can. You can achieve anything you want. But you have to work at it in a particular way, maybe. Keep all those goals in mind. Because I don't want you just to work on one and one only, because that might be the wrong one. There are some people who pick a goal. I've done it before. I've had this thing and I've just worked at it 100%. And it's been a right cock up. It was no good. It didn't give me anything. But I didn't have anything to fall back on. But now I love to work on options. I'm an option person. I tell you that every time. I'm an options person. So I like to have all these goals in mind. And if I could do them all It'd be awesome, but I bloody well can't. And I'm not going to accept that I can't have them. Do not accept that you can't have what you want. Obviously, it's got to be achievable, but achievable in your eyes. It's got to be reasonable. It's got to be reasonable in your eyes. But here's the thing. What can we do to get over this confusion, to get over this procrastination, you might say? Because it does end up as it feels like procrastination, but I think it's more than that. I don't really get procrastination because I think that's just a word we put over to give ourselves an excuse sometimes. But how can we overcome this regret and the mediocre results that we get? Or is that just me? I don't know. It might be just me. And you're absolutely zimming it. And if you're zimming it, I want you to email me. Tell me what you're zimming it at, if that's a word, by the way, and how you did it. Because I want to share it with other people. I want to know what you're doing. But if you're like me, you do like me, don't you? If you like me, hypnotic wordplay there, and you want to be able to achieve the results that you know you can really in your heart, and you want to have those experiences, and you want to increase everything that's in your life to make it richer, because that's what personal development is about, isn't it? And Personal Development Unplugged here is breaking down this complicated, overwhelming shit show that we have sometimes and make it into a simple and easy way to follow it. Now, it is simple, it is easy, but it takes effort, remember. And it's going to take all the skills that you have already. It's going to take your intention, because you're going to have to intend to carry out this. And here's a downer. It's not a downer for me because I love it. You're going to need a pen or a pencil and a sheet of paper, or the old puzzle book. I love my puzzle book because I've got all my stuff together, and I call it puzzle book because they're just my thoughts I'm puzzling with. So I can pick up my puzzle book and I can look through it and I can see all the things I've either thinking about or achieved or have achieved or what I've done and how I've done it, and it just gives me more inspiration. And all that is basically a book with plain sheets of paper. Open it out, it's lovely and big, or we can do it on a single sheet. That's beside the point. Just, we need something to write down. And why do we need to write it down? Because we need to get them out of our head. Because when they're all in our head, they either sometimes disappear because we've got other stuff coming ahead. And I don't want you to let any of those go. I want you to keep them all. I want you to make sure that you remember and re-remember, if that's a word. So we need to get them out of our head and onto a piece of paper. And don't type it. Don't type it on your computer. And if you're going to type it on your computer, type it after you've done it in handwriting, because your handwriting makes it so much more deeper connection with your unconscious mind, the way you think, you move your hand, your muscles, the words you use inside your head, not just tippy-tappy. No, write it down, and then if you want, you can refine it. But what am I going to write? What am I going to write? I want you to get out of your head all these goals, all these dreams, all the things that you want to be doing. Get them all out. No editing, by the way, because I don't want you to start writing, oh, well, I can't have that anyway. No. If it's there, you put it on that paper. Let's get everything out, unedited. And you can add to it, by the way, or you can do this process again each time. It's just a different mind map, but it's not a mind map as such. We're just getting the stuff out on a paper, piece of paper. Make it nice and clear and clean if you can. You can always clean it up another time, but let's just go for it. Put everything down that you want to do, have been trying to do. Maybe the things that you'd like to do better. Maybe things that you started and you didn't finish. But you still maybe got that hankering, because we're going to find out whether these are the things that are really going to float your boat, really going to make your days, your nights, your weeks, your months, and the whole of your life richer. To create wonderful experiences. Because effectively that's what a goal is, isn't it? I found that out a little while ago in my head. A little aha moment. I was getting a little bit down because of some of the goals I'd got and I wasn't getting. And I thought, no, the goal is just the experience. The thing that I want to do will give me an experience, an emotion. What's the emotion? And then I'll find the experience that creates it. But I'm jumping ahead. So let's get it all outside your head. Throw it on that piece of paper. Just set yourself maybe a little time period. I want you to do it all in one go if you can. Say 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Get your cup of coffee, glass of wine, your beer, your old G&T, whatever your tipple is. Could be just a glass of water. Sit down and let it all come down. Let it all come down on that piece of paper. No editing. Don't make anything bigger or because you want to influence yourself, because we're not going to do that. We will find the answer in a moment, I tell you that. Believe me. Come with me. You see, once you get it all on paper, I'm going to tell you now the reason for that regret. That reason, I call it regret because that's the feeling I get for either doing things mediocrity, whatever that word is anyway, for doing things not to the standard I want or not giving me the experiences that I want or the feelings I want, or just giving up maybe the down and all that stuff. It ultimately for me, it is regret. But whatever that feeling is, let's just call it regret for want of a better word. And the reason you have this feeling of, fill in the blank, regret, is because we're not at peace of not doing the others. Because we want to do them all. And the only way, because you can't do them all. We've proved that time and time again, you can't prove them all. There's no such thing there's no such thing as multitasking. I'll give that on a 5-minute quicker, the BS of multitasking. It doesn't work. And that's just for general things, but I'm talking about things that are important to us. And we're going to find out how important they are. So we're going to become at peace with not doing the others, and that will allow us to do the one thing, the real thing that we want to do to get that experience to become rich in our experiences of emotions and learnings, which will in turn allow us to do the others. You see, we're only parking them, and that's where we come at peace with it. We come at peace by saying, I've only parked it, and if it's important enough, it will come back, not to haunt us, but it will come back into my mind, come back into my efforts, my motivation. So how do we do that? Well, you've got them all down, and you get another piece of paper, by the way. Oh, bloody hell, Clough, I've got so many pieces of paper. Well, if you had it in a book, you wouldn't have to go and get a piece of paper, because it's just flick the paper over. But what you do is now look at all of them. Look at all of those things you want to do and ask yourself the question, if I could only have one, what would be the one that would give me the most richness in my life, the most experience, the one that jumps out the bloody page at me, the one that goes, that's the one. If I could only have the one instead of all the rest, this would be the most important. Because when you know that allows you to be at peace with the rest, because you're not letting them go, but you know they're not as important as the other because you haven't done that before. You've just put them all together. You've classed them all the same, and they're not all the bloody same. Now, you might want to just spread these out into, well, these are bigger, middle, and small ones, because you could do some of the small ones as well as maybe a middle and carry on working on the big. But yeah, ideally, don't get too confused with me because I'm confused myself. Pick one. Write it on that separate piece of paper. knowing and giving yourself permission that you can go back to the rest when we've done this one or when we've got it underway. Because it's not a matter of going all the way to the end, achieving that goal. No, it's when we've got it, doing the things that we love, getting that experience, the richness of emotions from doing this one thing, that will spread into the motivation to do the others, by the way. Because it'll give you confidence, you'll stretch yourself, you'll learn stuff, which will make the other goals easier, effortless. But the thing is, just to make sure we look at that one, we get that one, and because it's on a separate piece of paper, I want you to begin to think, if I got this now, and this is where we use a little bit of our imagineering, if I got this now, say I've done it, I've achieved it completely, what would I see in the world? How would I see the world differently? Because I've got these new learnings, I've got these experiences, I've got these emotions. How would I see the world differently? Maybe I could see new opportunities. Maybe I'd see my family and friends differently because I've grown. What would my internal voice be? How would I speak to myself? How would I speak on the outside with these wonderful new experiences? How can I share it with others? Maybe I could smell and taste success, or smell and taste if there's smells and tastes in that ultimate vision of achieving it. What would they smell and what would they taste like? And when you put that all together, what you see, what you hear, what you speak, the smell and the taste, how would that make you feel? What would be this wonderful emotion of putting it all together? What would it give you in that way? And if this feels so fucking good, excuse me swearing, but it's got to feel so fucking good, now's the time to commit. Commit to putting time in your diary, time in your day, time in your week, to spend time on finding the steps that make this work. The smaller steps. If you want, you start from the end and work backwards to right now to find out what needs to be done. So this needs to be done before that, this needs to be done before that, till you come to right now. The smallest possible step. But you keep this wonderful feeling of it all. The feeling of the wish fulfilled, we call it. And that feeling of motivation, because you know it's so important to you. It has so much high value without really knowing in words what that value is. But you just know. And because you've already just imagined it, you can believe yourself having done it. Because you wouldn't be able to imagine it if you didn't believe it. And it feels so fucking good. So now you commit. And you get started. And you plan it, you schedule it, you review it. You do all the things that you would do on goal setting, dream setting, dream achievement, goal achievement, whatever it is, whatever terminology you want. And if you want help with that, I know I've got other podcasts, episodes allow you to do this, but just imagine, you know how to do it. Just start. You start with a smaller step and the next step and they get bigger and faster. And you keep that feeling going, and the feeling of the wish fulfilled. You come back to this feeling all the time. And as you get going, you can go back to that list and see if there's anything else you want to add to it. That first list. Maybe you've got some new goals now. Maybe as you look down, you go, well, actually, that goal I don't even really want. That's gone by the board. I've parked it, and now I don't even want it. I want to shelve it. Delete it, as it were. So you can just cross it off. You can add to it. You can make a new list if you want, but then you can look and say, well, okay, I've started this other one. Now, what's left? What is left? If I could only have one of what's left, providing it feels good that I've got the time to do it, as long as that first one, and I think you have, which one would be the next most important one? The one that would give me all these wonderful things and do exactly the same thing. You write that on another piece of paper. So you can write around that the steps that you need to do. But just before you start imagining the steps, you look at it and go, if I've got this now, if I've achieved this one now, what will I see? What will I hear? What will I smell and taste? Live it vividly and get that feeling. Because that's the feeling of the wish fulfilled of that one. And now you could start looking at what are the smaller steps, working backwards from that final goal. What needs to happen just before that? What needs to happen before that? Till you get to now. Rinse and repeat. And this is the way we can make our goals wonderful. We will never have that regret of a goal unfulfilled because we're either at peace, because we're doing the things which are most important, or we've crossed the bloody thing off because it was just getting in our way. That's all it is. That's all it is. And maybe I'm just thinking, maybe I'm going to do a little visualization. Not now, but a little visualization on its own to take you through one of those goals of what you'd see. You know, the ultimate part of that, the feeling of the wish fulfilled. I'll maybe just call it the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Okay, I'll think about doing that one. I'll make a note and then I'll let you know. But this is how we get our things done. This is how we achieve what we want. And you can then achieve anything because you're not going to be held back, but you're just going to be supporting yourself with all the things you learn, all the things you've achieved already. You'll build upon success after success after I will say success properly this time. You'll be the change you want to see in yourself, and you'll be the example of setting this to other people. They'll look at you and go, wow, look at them go. I want some of that. And you'll be able to share it. You can share it in the way that you did it. You can share this episode if you would. Share this to everyone because I want everyone to get their dreams, their goals, to let go of all the regret. So please share this episode, share the podcast if you would. Cloughy, Paul Clough, Personal Development Unplugged, the podcast, or this episode. Can't achieve anything. Here's how. I hope, I know I got a little bit in there, a little bit passionate maybe, because I'm so passionate about this. I did swear a little bit, apologise for that, but that just comes out sometimes, that's why I am. And as usual, I hope I communicated in a way that was motivating, that I can't motivate you, you can motivate yourself, but I can show you the direction. And then you get to drive your own bus. Being at peace. Comfortable. Yeah, that's all we want, isn't it? To be and wallow in that success, because to know that you did it yourself. That's it. That's all you have to do. And that feeling just breeds more competent confidence. It breeds that wonderful self-esteem that you have. It allows it to come out. There you go. Hope you enjoyed that. You did decide to share it. Only a share button on those things. And you also subscribed, followed. Because then I can see you, be in your mind. You can come into my mind every week. Enjoy. It's Paul, your friend, Cloughy, and I'll speak to you next time. And if you want, by the way, I forgot to say this, and I say it every time, but I nearly forgot. You could email me, feedback@personaldevelopmentunplugged.com, with anything you want information on, or just give me some feedback. What you've achieved. I love to hear your successes. Let's celebrate together. Yeah. Because when you celebrate your successes, you build upon them even more. I'd love to hear them. Feedback@personaldevelopmentunplugged.com. Hey, Cloughy, this is what I've achieved. Or this is what I'd like to know a little bit more about. Boom. That's what you'll get back. A lovely, direct, personal email from me. Okay, that's it from me. Let's have more fun and wallow in our wonderful competence, confidence and self-esteem that's growing and growing and growing. Changing, just a little change. You'll never know how far the ripples of change go. So let's make those changes now. Have fun. It's time to fly.
Warning, you are now leaving the unplugged mind. of Paul Clough. It's time to fly on your own. Be brave, my friend.
Personal Development Unplugged.